Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We will continue with the topic of mechanical properties of materials. In last session, we discussed the materials which follows the Hooke's law. The material which follows the Hooke's law are generally called as the linear elastic materials. Now we will discuss elastic materials and plastic materials. Elastic materials are ones which follows the elasticity, and elasticity we will discuss in detail later. Basically, the elastic materials are one which regain its original shape and size after removal of the applied load. Let's consider the example. We have a specimen which is loaded in tensile. Now, upon application of this load, the material is deformed. In this particular case, there is a elongation, and this deformation we say that this is del L. Once this load is removed, P is 0, so the del L is also 0. So it means the materials the materials which regain its initial shape and size after removal of the applied load are called elastic materials. Further, the deformation which is vanished or finished after removal of the applied load is called the elastic deformation. Now if we take the example of this specimen, and if we go for the section method, let's say this is section of the specimen. Upon application of applied load, there are internal resistive forces, and once these applied load is removed, these resistive forces bring back the material to its original shape. So these type of materials are known as the elastic materials. Now we will discuss the plastic material. In plastic materials which cannot regain its original shape and size after removal of the applied forces. Now again taking the example of the tensile specimen. After application of the force, there is a deformation in the form of elongation, that is del L, and once the load is removed, still this del L is not equal to 0. It means there is a still the material that is deformed and their internal resistive forces are not so enough to bring back the material to its original shape, or the resistive forces not corresponding with the applied load. So we can write this: the material which does not regain its initial shape and size after removal of the load are called plastic materials. Because the internal resistive forces are not enough to bring back the material to its original position and shape. Now we will discuss stress strain curves for fundamental materials. Let's say the linear elastic material. In linear elastic material, if we take the example of this stress strain diagram, in this we have a inclined straight line, and this inclined straight line indicating that the material is linear elastic, and the material will come back to its original shape and size after removal of the load. Now the rigid material. For the case of rigid materials, are those materials which does not go for any deformation irrespective of the magnitude and direction of the applied load. So if we consider the Hooke's law, that is sigma is equal to E epsilon, and we can write this E, the Young modulus, as sigma over epsilon. Now considering the stress strain diagram, if we apply the load and continuously increase the load, means we are increasing the value of stress, but there is no deformation, means the epsilon is 0. Now once this epsilon is equal to 0, there is no deformation, means this Young's modulus is going to be sigma over 0, or Young's modulus is equal to infinity. So which means for the case of rigid materials, the value of the Young's modulus is infinite. Now we will discuss the plastic materials. Again, the plastic materials are the ideal plastic materials as we have discussed earlier, and if the material that does not regain its original position or original shape and size, we call those materials as the plastic materials. Now in this case, if we take the example of this stress strain diagram, and if the material behavior is as such that you are continuously increasing the load but still there is no increase in the stress. So what does it indicate? This is showing the plastic behavior, but for this case this is ideal plastic material. And if we just take the example of the old specimen, let's say we have a specimen and this is subjected to the tensile loading, and using the section method let's say the applied load that is continuously, you may say you are increasing, and there is internal resistive forces, and the value of this internal forces that remains 0. So means the material is not posing any resistance, or the resistive force is not commensurating with the applied load. And for this specific case, the material which does not offer any resistance the material which does not offer any resistance against the applied load are termed as the ideal plastic materials. And this we take the example of the fluids or the polymers. Now the elastoplastic material. Now the elastoplastic materials are those materials, let's say this is stress strain diagram. Now elastoplastic material is those materials which offer a resistance up to some point, and after that there is a plastic behavior. So let's say initially there is a elastic behavior, so we call this the elastic material or the elastic response or behavior of the material. And after that point the material behavior is, our response is like plastic material, that it is going for deformation permanently. So this plastic response could be any, and this point we term this the elastic limit. Up to that, the material response or the behavior is elastic. So we can define the elastic limit as it is a point up to which the material shows the elastic behavior. And for example, after this elastic limit, the material behaves in a manner of ideal elastic, ideal plastic material. So for this case, we can say the elasto ideal plastic material. Now, rigid plastic are perfectly plastic materials. Now, for this case, we know the rigid materials upon application of the external force or the applied load. Let's say this is the stress strain diagram, and for the case of rigid materials, the material does not go any deformation up to some point, and after that suddenly the materials go for the ideal plastic deformation or behavior of ideal plastic material, and the up to point the material is behaving like a rigid material. In certain books it is written as the yield stress. So we can define the the material which poses or which offer resistance or stresses in such a manner that there is no deformation before the ideal plastic materials behavior. Now this type of materials are known as the perfectly plastic materials. Now with this we end our discussion here. Allah Hafiz.